We in the studio. We in the studio. With Rob in the studio. In the studio. In the studio. Catch a vibe in the studio. In the studio. We in the studio. With Rob in the studio. In the studio. We in the studio. Yeah, I'm in the studio with Rob. I need to make the heat flicker. Izzle on it, only thing can make a Rico beat sicker. So listen and get your wisdom. Gemstones on your head. Good with the OG like Flintstones, good in bed. Been living a long time and he got something to say. Depending on how you feeling, dog, you might got something to pray. This type of influence that you ain't gotta filter through your liver. We in the studio with Rob. Come let the heat rock simmer.
Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of In the Studio with Rob. I am Rob, and I'd like to thank you, and I'm in here in the studio with my man Izzle.
Yeah.
So what's going on, Izzle? How you doing?
I'm chilling, sir. How you doing?
Doing good. All is well. You know, and we want to thank everyone, all those tuning in with us. Those that are tuning in for the first time, welcome. Those that have been checking us out for a while, we appreciate you coming back.
Welcome back, gang vets.
And one of the things we want to say is, you know, this podcast is about family. This is about me talking to the way I talk to my kids, the way I talk to my family. And so I'm just sharing some of that information that I shared with them over the years and some things that maybe I haven't told them yet that they may hear through this as well. So with that said, we're going to talk a little bit about that family dynamic when you have a girlfriend or boyfriend and you know, you're dating and y'all, you know, enjoying each other and you get to meet the family don't like you. Well, what do you do? How does that work?
Could be quite a pickle, I imagine.
Could be. We're going to talk about that a little bit because that happens in a lot of people dating and their family don't like the person they're dating. And so how do you deal with that? How do you handle that? One of the things I'm going to say is that I've never experienced where the family member didn't like me. I had one where, you know, I knew I may not have been a fan, she wasn't a fan. The mom wasn't a fan of mine, but I don't think she disliked me. And I think over the years, you know, we grew cool, but I don't think she was, you know, was ever that close. But I think one of the things we look at, and luckily for me, I will say that, you know, my mom, you know, she's always been open to whoever I date. So, you know, she's never, you know, gotten in the middle and like, I don't like her. That is never my mom's style anyway. So I never had to deal with that from the other side either. And I think, I can't think of anybody that my kids dated that I didn't like. I try to give people the benefit of the doubt. Now I'm a little weary of some, and I may, you know, tell them, yo, you need to be cautious or whatever. Yeah, you gotta be careful. And I'll tell, you know, I'm gonna tell about my man over here. You know, he had a little shorty he was trying to talk to when he was a little young buck, and this young lady was.
That was my boo.
She seemed real nice.
She was.
You know, when you meet her, she was cool. So she was at the house one day, and we, you know, get ready to take her home. It was late. She lived in, you know, another part of the city. So we, you know, it took about 20 minutes to get there, 25 minutes to get to her house. So taking her home, I'm taking them home because she couldn't drive yet. At least not legally. He might have been sneaking.
But boy, I could whip it.
so you know, I'm taking them home. Taking her home. He's sitting up front with me. She's sitting in the back. And, you know, like, and at the time, you know, me and my son, you know, we laugh a lot. We joke and clown around a lot. So on the way home, you know, saying a joke, clowning each other a little bit. And he said something. I don't remember what he said exactly. Probably not important. But anyway, when he said it, I just happened to look into the rearview mirror and I saw her face. This girl's face turned so evil. Now, we were laughing because it was a joke that I don't even think it was a joke about her. But whatever it was, her face looked so evil. And I'm like, yo. And so I ain't say nothing.
I think it was one of those jokes where like your girlfriend punches you on the arm type thing. Like where it's like a ribbon type of joke to your girl, where your girl know you're playing, but that type of thing.
Yeah. But anyway, she didn't get it. So we take her to her house, drop her off, and on the way back, I start asking some questions. So I asked my son, I was like, yo, she stayed with her grandmother. Well, okay. Why don't she live with her mom? They don't get along. Okay, where's her dad? Whatever the case may be. And so it was just a lot of things popping up. And I just told him, I was like, yo, you need to be careful. Why? She good. She did that. I said, I'm telling you, something ain't right, man. The girl, she got a lot of things going on in her family life, and she may be dealing with some stuff. Okay. Anyway, fast forward,
she was great.
They seeing each other for a little bit, and come to find out,
she was great. She was great.
She had some issues. She had some family issues that ultimately would spill out on him.
She was a pincher.
So again, but this was he was young, she was young, and again, not to say that she didn't grow up to be a really nice person. I have no idea what she's going, but there are times when older people, parents, we can see things because of our years of experience in people that you may not see when you're a lot younger. So sometimes you have to take that into consideration. However, sometimes parents just out of line, out of pocket. Sometimes we just out of pocket. I don't like him because he too short for my daughter. Or I don't like her because she too this for my son. And you don't have to like them because they're this or that. Your daughter or your son has to like the person. Now, if you feel that, like you have people that say, well, they ain't good enough for my daughter. Well, is it really that your daughter all that good? So we talking about, you want to talk about this young man not being good enough for your daughter, but in reality, you don't want to face the reality of what your daughter is really like. Maybe your daughter ain't good enough for him. We don't know. So you in reality, though, as the person or the people in that relationship, you have to try to understand, why don't they like me? So why don't they like me? Do they not like me because I've done something, said something disrespectful to them or to their daughter? Am I a deadbeat? Do I not work? Do I not take care of my responsibilities? Do I not, take care of, people, that's in my environment that they know about? So why don't they like me? So that's important to know. And then, how will it affect us? Them not liking me. How will that affect us? Because again, you have to understand, if your girlfriend's parents don't like you, or your boyfriend's parents don't like you, you have to really understand that can affect your relationship. Because what it does is it puts a strain on the relationship, because the person who's not liked is not comfortable, and he or she will then cause the other person to be uncomfortable, because they're going to let you know, look, man, I don't know what's going on with your mom, your dad, but they treating me, kind of funky here, and I don't know what's going on. So that can put a strain on your relationship. So you have to understand that you need to deal with situations so that your relationship can then grow to be healthy. So what can you do if they don't like you? One, if you are the child of the parents that don't like the other party, you need to make sure you're advocating for that person. Meaning, you need to talk to your mom, your dad, and let them know the good qualities of the person you're dating. You can't just accept that they think this person is not good enough when they don't even really know the person. You need to try to let your parents know he or she is good to me and for me. They help me to grow. They're pushing me to be the best I can be. It's not just about us getting together and hanging out. So you need to make sure your parents understand that. You should try to, as much as possible, ask your parents to spend some time with you and that other person to get to know them better. So you really have to be that advocate in the middle, because you're the one that, not only is your boyfriend or your girlfriend affected, but you're going to be affected too, because you're in the middle of that mess. And it's not a comfortable place to be. you have to, if you are the person that is unliked, you have to remember not to be disrespectful to the parents or even to your girl or your guy, because that's only going to make the situation worse. So if they don't like me, or I feel that they don't like me, or even now that I found out that they don't like me and why they don't like me, I'm still not going to be disrespectful to them, because they are the parents of the person that I'm dating, and I care about her, or I care about him. So therefore, I'm not going to be disrespectful to them, because in doing that, I'm going to put an even bigger strain on our relationship. So you got to make sure that you understand that no matter what, you got to understand how to handle people, especially in adults or grown-ups, older people. You know, if you're a young buck and you trying, I don't have to take this. Yeah, you kind of do have to take some of it, because not for them, the parents, but for your girl or for your guy. So some of it, you're going to have to say, okay, I care so much about her that I'm not going to be disrespectful to her parents. It ain't about her parents, it's about her. And I don't want to put her in an uncomfortable position of having to choose between mom and dad and me. So that's a struggle sometimes, because, you know, the hardest thing is, and we talked about this before, especially if you got your ego, your pride. It's like, yo, how dare they talk about me like this, or say something negative about me, or look at me like this. And I want to defend myself. But in reality, you don't have to defend yourself. Only thing you have to do is keep loving on the girl that you're loving on, and keep supporting her the way you're supporting her, helping her to grow and helping her to be the best she can be. Just do the right thing. And then let the rest play out the way it's going to play out. And you will find that, you know, ultimately it's going to work out the way it's supposed to work out. Either you're supposed to be with her and it'll work out that way, or you're not supposed to be with her and it won't.
Because she's a pincher.
She's a pincher. So, or you also have to understand family dynamics. Everybody's family is different. I'm going to tell you a little bit about my family. We talk about each other. We have fun talking about it. We clown each other. Nobody in the house is safe. If you do something stupid, we all gonna let you know. If you fall, we gonna laugh.
Facts.
If you stumble, we gonna laugh.
Facts.
You burn food, we gonna talk about your burnt food.
For days.
Whenever, if it's something we can laugh about, we gonna laugh. However, everybody family ain't like that. Some people in their family don't have no laughter in the house. They just stick to business. They do things and they keep it moving. It is not the same. And they definitely don't talk about each other. So if you in a family where everybody's laughing, clowning each other, and then you dating a girl where that doesn't happen, and you meet her parents, and maybe the girl has gotten used to you being a clown and, you know, you joking on her, even busting on her in certain cases. But when you go around her mom or her dad and you say something that's a joke that she may laugh at, they may take it totally different, because that's not how they understand things to be. Doesn't mean they're wrong. It definitely don't mean you're wrong. It just means it's different. So you have to understand that family dynamic. You have to also understand that what parents have in store or in their mind for their children is like, I want my daughter to be with this type of person. And I've been grooming her to be with this type of person. Meaning I sent her to the best schools. I spent this on her to learn this. I did this, all the things we've done so that she ultimately will get with this type of person. And then she gets with somebody that's not like that. That's a struggle for parents, because they're like, no, we chose this dude, this type of dude for you, and you going out with them? We don't see that. But ultimately, they don't have to. But it's up to me to understand that, okay, that's what they were looking for. That's not who I am, but that's who they were looking for her. I need to make sure everything that I'm doing is okay with her, not with them. And then I need to make sure that my reaction to their negativity toward me is not something that's going to affect my girl or my guy in a negative way. Because if they say or do something and I snap off on them, it's going to affect her or him because that's their parents. So whether or not I agree with my mom or my dad or not doesn't change the fact that it's my mom or my dad. And you coming here disrespecting them ain't going to work. So we have to not only understand family dynamics, but also understand that you're still dealing with somebody else's child. And you don't want to put him or her in the middle of a fight that they can't control or that they don't need to justify. And I'm talking about people dating. I'm not talking, when you married, mom and dad kick rocks. Look, when my child marries who he marries, it ain't got nothing to do with me. When you say I do, I don't have to like her no more. I don't have to, it doesn't matter. Because dad, if you don't like my wife, you stay over there, we'll stay over here. Or I'll come see you sometime when I got some time, but know that my wife coming first. You make that choice when you're married. When you're dating, you have to figure it out a little bit differently. You know, you kind of make sure that it's all in line and then you make that choice. But you can't just, you have to be able to understand what your relationship is going to be first. Because I'm not fighting with my mom and my dad for somebody that might be temporary. I need to have some conversations with my mom and my dad about what I want in a relationship versus what they want me to have in a relationship. But I'm not going to be fighting and disrespecting, cutting them off because of some girl that you might not even be here. I ain't even sure about you yet. So why I'm fighting with my mom and dad over that? So those are some things that we have to, make sure we understand. So,
I was trying to sound for like a people audio thing. How do you feel about that?
That was too loud.
It was a little loud and like.
Yeah, I think you might have some on the keyboard though, but
we might well look into that. All right, so people have a question.
Go ahead, people. Because again, for those that are just tuning in, no, I'm a man of the people. So I always want to hear from the people. What's up, people?
Sir, where do you stand on people that may feel, like say, the person is disliked by the parents that think, or he or she has the attitude that I'm with you, not your parents, or the person whose parents don't like their partner and they're like, I'm with you, I'm not with my parents. So I don't necessarily care what my parents think, or as long as they're not disrespecting you, I'm not worried about what they say or think or whatever.
Right.
I'm not worried about what your parents think about me or whatever, as long as they're not disrespecting me or you don't feel any type of way, then whatever. Where do you stand on
I'll take the first ones first.
Okay.
If I'm always a little weary if somebody says I'm with you, not your parents, or it's almost like it's an isolation thing. It's like, forget them, just be with me, which is a little dangerous. Now, I agree to a point of this is about me and you in the relationship, but my parents are a part of me. So I'm not going to just cut them off or cut them.
No. Don't add that. Yeah, I know what you mean, but that's a little different than what I mean. I mean more so, like I'm not letting, as long as it doesn't, all right, you're my girl. Your parents don't like me, but I feel like as long as it doesn't bother you, then I'm cool. I don't mind however they feel as long as it doesn't bother you.
Okay, I got you. So in that case, I'm good with that.
Right.
Yeah, because again, this is me being a man and the man in I don't care who likes me.
Mm-hmm.
I would like for people to like me, but I don't care if you don't.
Mm-hmm.
So and I don't hold a grudge if you don't. And I don't need to get even with you or treat you a certain way if you don't. So if your parents don't like me, I can deal with that in a way that I'm still going to treat you this way. I'm still going to love on you. I'm still going to give you, do what I need to do for our relationship. And when I see them, I will speak and keep it moving because they don't like me. That's their choice. But if they change, I'm cool with that too. So that way I'm cool. Like I said, I'm just opposed to if anybody tries to say, well, the isolation part of it, well, it's about me and you and not them. So, but yeah, but in the case of a brother being strong enough in himself to be able to say, look, I care enough about you that what they feel about me ain't that deep. And then I think, if anything, I think you got a really good dude. Or woman, if that's her case, if they strong enough to do that, then you got a pretty good person. Because they're saying, I'm okay with people not liking me. Everybody ain't gonna like you anyway. Whether it's her parents or the guy down the block. Everybody ain't gonna like you. But that's cool. But treat the person right. Keep developing the relationship until you see where it can go. Now, in the case where the girl said, or the other person said, well, I know my parents don't like you, but I'm still, into you as long as they, I'm still going to keep doing. Again, same thing. If they're comfortable and if you can be in a relationship and treat each other with respect, regardless of what the outside forces are doing or how they're treating you, then you're in a pretty good place. And you need to develop that relationship. And then, but at the same time, I would always suggest that you continue to talk to your parents, again, advocating for why you like this person, why this person is important to you, and letting your parents know where you think the relationship is going to go. That gives them an opportunity to grow as well. Because, I talked about, the adult-child relationship, and unfortunately parents grow slower than children in that relationship. So where a child can grow and be like, I'm an adult and I'm willing to talk to my parents like an adult. The parent sometimes is like, you're still my baby. I'm going to treat him like we grow a little slower than the children. Than the child does. So unfortunately in that area, so you have to give them that time. But I'm going to keep advocating for him or her. I'm going to keep telling you how special they are. I'm going to keep letting you know what they mean to me so that you can continue to grow. Now, if this relationship goes even further and we end up getting married, now mom, dad, y'all need to make a choice. Because we ain't got to make no choice. We good. Y'all going to have to make a choice, mom, dad, if y'all want to be a part of our life. Because our life is what it is here now. So y'all got to decide if y'all want to be a part of it, y'all more than welcome. But when you come respectfully, and we good. Everything else is cool. So I think that's one of the things you have to make sure you do when you talking to your parents and helping them to grow with you. Don't forget, like I said, parents, people too. It is not like, I think sometimes people think their parents are this supernatural being of they know everything or they've done everything and their emotions are always intact and in control. No, they just people.
I know my dad don't know everything.
But what's important is that you have to know that when we talk about the emotions of your parents, theirs are more out of whack when it comes to their children than at any point. And when you have children, you'll know that for yourself if you don't have any. Because all of a sudden you're so invested in your child's well-being. You want the best for your child that you get so emotional and you lose sight sometimes of what's best for them because you want what you think is best for them. And what is best for them is that you let them grow and develop in their own way. You give them guidance and you let it go. But parents, like I said, most parents are dealing with things with their children, no matter what age, for the first time. And so they have to learn how to deal with it at that moment. Just like you got to learn, we trying to learn.
So how do you navigate dealing with parents that don't like you, but there's some outward disrespect on their part. How do you navigate that?
I mean, one, nobody should disrespect you.
Agreed.
So again, and we have to look at this from two ways: married versus dating.
Dating.
So if you're dating and the parent is disrespectful, then I have no reason to go around the parent anyway. I mean, I could just like, look, my first thing is I'm going to let them know, please don't disrespect me. I'm not going to disrespect you or your child. I love them, I like them, or whatever. We enjoying ourselves together. We're trying to get to know each other. There's no disrespect in this. But just like I'm giving her and you respect, I expect the same thing. So that's our conversation with disrespect. Now, if they can't deal with that, then I need to leave. If I'm in their presence, in their home or whatever, then I'm just going to leave. And I'll let her know. We'll talk later. And when me and her talk, then we need to talk about the boundaries that will be set in this relationship concerning her parents.
Such as?
So the boundary, maybe one boundary is, I'm not, at family occasion or family events, don't invite me because I don't want to hurt your feelings to say no. I don't want to, and I'm not going to put myself in a position to be disrespected, because then things can get even more out of control. So I need to tell you, I'm not, those type of things we won't be doing together unless your parents have a change of heart. So that's going to be a boundary. And maybe another boundary is, I don't even want to talk about your parents. I mean, if you want to tell me just random stuff, but don't tell me they said this about me. Don't tell me anything they say about me. If you want to talk to me about what they say about you, that's fine. If you want to tell me what they say about the dude down the street, that's fine. But don't tell me what they say about me, because I don't need to know that. And it's not going to help the relationship grow by you sharing that type of information.
Man, I feel like if you know that we have a strained relationship or a negative one, and you're telling me negative stuff they're saying about you, you're just fostering negativity in it anyway. That's kind of a red flag in itself.
Yeah, but I don't think everybody knows that, unfortunately. I think sometimes people get confused with honesty. They're just like, I'm just being honest. I want to share everything. And then one of the things I tell people all the time, even in marriage, sometimes you got to know when not to share. And it's not that I'm keeping a secret, but it's not needed. It's not going to help us. It's not, you trying to share because you want to be open and honest, and I want to make sure I give, I continue to share, things that's going on, but it's hurting the relationship. So sometimes you share too much. Everything don't need to be shared. And so that's what I mean by, sometimes people don't even know that they're doing something dumb. They just think it's like, well, I'm being honest. I want to make sure I'm transparent. Some things, sometimes you can be we don't need Casper.
Exactly. See, I think that transparency, that's in a situation where maybe I'm coming around. If I'm around your family or your parents all the time, then if they're talking about me, I feel like, yes, I should know, because I should know if I'm around somebody and I think we're interacting on one level. Exactly. Yeah. Yes, that. But if we're in a situation where it's like, all right, I just want to be around because we clearly don't get along.
Right.
Then you shouldn't be coming and telling me.
And I would hope that you wouldn't go tell your parents if I said something about them.
Right.
Because again, the relationship.
We already know what it is.
The relationship can't get better if you keep telling me negative stuff about that they saying about me. So So at that point, you have to stop. And again, I get that you want to share. Don't share that. It's almost like, well, you go when you tell your wife, well, babe, I spent an extra amount of this out of the thing, and I spent more money than I should have, or whatever. And she like, okay, well, it's gonna be in the bank tomorrow. Then why you had to tell her? It's gonna be there tomorrow. Why you had to share it? It wasn't that important. Only thing it did was cause a problem. So don't cause problems in your relationship. So don't share everything. So, but again, I think your response is meaning the person that is not liked. Your response to the parents, to your girl, to your guy, your response is very important. So how you respond is gonna either uplift or tear down the relationship
Between who?
between you and her parents, or even you and her. Because if you respond in a way that puts that girl, that guy, in a stressful situation or a stressful place, you may tear down your relationship because they don't know how. It's like, how can I care so much about this guy or this girl, and yet they making me feel this way about my mom or my dad? Because that's a different love. And so it's like, you cool, I care about you, but that's my mom and my dad. So make sure you respond in a way that's going to always try to uplift the relationship and not bring it down. So your response has to be, again, sometimes boundaries are great. Don't let people tell you you shouldn't have boundaries. You should have boundaries, especially in this case. If it's better to have a boundary than a fight. So set up some boundaries so that y'all ain't fighting and then they, talking about each other and doing all the negative stuff that come with that. So just make sure that, you continue to work on your relationship. Don't get so caught up into, her mom don't like me or her dad they don't like me. And, it is what it is. I mean, but again, it's the other person's responsibility of the parents who don't like to advocate for you, not you advocating for yourself. Don't go calling mom and dad talking about, we need to hash this out. That ain't your place. She or he should hash that out with their parents, not you. It is not your place to have a come to Jesus moment with her parents or his parents. I just need to talk to them and let them know what I'm feeling as a woman. Shut up. Let him go talk. Those his parents. He don't need to have no man-to-man with your daddy. He just a dude that you dating. And so there is no man-to-man conversation he need to have with your daddy to let him to change his mind. No, you change his mind. You the daughter. You the one that his daddy loved. His dad don't care nothing about that boy. So make sure, again, that everything starts with the couple first. How we deal with that. And again, a lot of times parents don't like these guys or these girls is because of stuff you told them in the past. So maybe you should have kept your mouth closed. Parents can't handle people that did anything to hurt their kid. They don't handle that well. So if my daughter is dating a guy or married to a guy, and my daughter said, Daddy, he cheated on me, I don't like him. You did what to my daughter? I don't like you. Now, my daughter may make up with him. I still don't like you. Because she should have never told me that if she was going to make up with him. We parents don't forgive the way you forgive in a relationship. Just like if you told your best friend something about your girl, you going to make up with your girl, your best friend still holding a grudge. Because they don't love them like you do. So sometimes you need to keep your mouth closed. Don't share everything. Share the good. Tell everybody the good stuff. If it's the bad stuff you need to get out, have somebody that you can share with that will not hate the other person. I always told people, like, if my son's wife come to me and tell me that my son did something wrong, I'm gonna go talk to my son. But I ain't never gonna hate my son. So if they make up, I'm still good with my son. I ain't mad at her at all. So it's better if she would have gone to her parents, they're gonna be like, how dare he? So know who you're talking to. I ain't saying keep stuff to yourself and in-house all the time, but I'm saying know who you're talking to. Don't tell me nothing bad about your boyfriend and then expect me to like him. Because I don't want to like him no more. Because I already know he ain't this or he ain't that. Not to say I won't ever get over it, but it takes time. More time for me than it took for you who's in love with him. So just know who you're talking to. All right, so again, I hope you guys got a little something out of this. Parents not liking, or the family not liking your mate, it's not the end of the world. but it does take work. It puts a challenge into the relationship. But again, challenge can make you stronger too. So just make sure that you continue to work on it, communicate well, and talk everything out between you and your girlfriend or your boyfriend, and also talking to your parents if that's what you have to do. So, and I think things will get better, or things will be what they are, and your relationship don't have to fail because of it though. So, with that said, we're gonna wrap up. I hope you guys got a little something out of this.
Good talk, man.
And we will see you again next time. And until then, you have been listening to In the Studio with Rob, and we really appreciate all the time that you've given us.
Make sure you like and subscribe.
Please like and subscribe.
Tell a friend to tell a friend.
Tell a friend to tell a friend. And all y'all check us out. Until later.
Gotta go. Bye.
Peace.
Studio. We in the studio. We in the studio. We Rob in the studio. In the studio. In the studio. Catch a vibe in the studio. In the studio. We in the studio. We Rob in the studio. In the studio. We in the studio. Catch a vibe. Yeah, I'm in the studio with Rob. I need to make the heat flicker. Is alone and only thing can make a Rico beat sicker. So listen and get your wisdom. Gemstones on your head top. With the OG like Flintstones, good in bed. Been living a long time and he got something to say. Depending on how he feeling, dog, he might got something to pray. This type of influence that he ain't got to filter through your liver. We in the studio with Rob. Come let the heat rock simmer.